First off, we have Mike McGarry. He is the Director of Emerging Content at Fitzgerald and Company, where he helps brands such as Coca-Cola, Checkers, and whatnot to work with people, engage their audience in an authentic way. And he also previously has worked with Vice Media Group, worked on campaigns with EA Sports, also worked on musical marketing campaigns with the likes of the Beatles and Madonna. So he has a wealth of information he's ready to give for you today. You want to say hello to people, Mike?
Yeah, what's up? I'm really excited about this. Looking forward to a good conversation. It's great to see so many faces in here and a lot of eagerness and energy. So fired up to do this.
And he's a huge West Coast hip hop fan, most likely a more the Bay area.
Yeah. Born and raised in San Francisco, so grew up in the likes of Spice One, Too Short. I'm looking forward to him. So and then the Loonies. I remember my mom threw my Loonies CD out the window when I was in trouble. That was like the worst day of my life.
All right, and then next to him we have Dave Cool, and that's actually his real name. His real name is Dave Cool. How cool is that right there, right? He is the Director of Artist and Industry Outreach at bandzoogle.com, and they actually are set up here and everything. So he has spoke at different conferences with South by Southwest and Canadian Music Week, been interviewed by The Guardian, CNN, involving music. So he has a long history of working with independent artists and helping them with Bandzoogle. They helped to set up artists' website, merch, touring, all kind of information. So, and he came all the way from Montreal, Canada, to be with us today. Say hello, people, Dave.
Hey everyone, glad to be here. The only other time I've been to Atlanta was stranded at the airport overnight. So, being in the city proper, doing this.
Great. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's see. So first part, like I said, we want to talk about dealing with social media, right? Because it seems like most people, when they think about marketing, they just think social media, you get on Twitter, you get on Instagram, and that's it. So, Dave, you talked about one time before is you said when you only use social media, it's like you're leasing space on somebody else's platform, other than your own. Talk to people about that.
Yes, so social media has its place and it's super important, obviously. That's where most of your fans are going to be, and it's a great place to engage them and have conversations. But at the end of the day, you're basically just leasing that space. I don't know if anyone here is old enough to remember MySpace. I am. A lot of artists use MySpace to build up their fan base, and then MySpace just seemingly overnight just became uncool and no one was using it anymore, and there was no copy my fan base to Facebook function. You had to start over again. So what I suggest, and what we suggest as a company, and what a lot of labels and managers do, is yes, you have your presence on social media.
The main thing I think both of you are saying is you have to plan something in motion, because when people go to your social media page, you just have some kind of direction where they can kind of see where you're going with it, right?
Yeah, I think I definitely say that. But also, I mean, think about too is the direction that you want to go, but also it shouldn't be a curated story. By that I mean it should be the story, not the story that you want to project.
Okay, the real deal.
Yeah, it's very hard to if it isn't and it's a curated story, you're always going to have to keep up that story rather than just being who you are and your brand is. But if it is who you are and who your brand is, it's very easy to keep up and to expand. So I've seen a lot of people making the mistake of manufacturing that storyline, and if you stay true to your brand, it's a lot easier.
Right. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, if you're trying to create a story, then it's going to be really hard to keep that going.
Create a character that you
always
always
that you always have to stick with. But I want to get back to a point you made about focusing on the channels that you're good at and you're comfortable with. Like, I think that's totally legitimate. You don't have to try to be on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and try to do all of them every day. We have a member that are great at Instagram. They got a record deal from their Instagram profile because they had tons of fan engagement. But they're not great at Twitter or Facebook, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Their fans know where to find them. We have another member who's great at Facebook, and that's where they engage with their fans. So it's whatever channel that you're comfortable with and you're getting good engagement, then focus on that, definitely.
with people where they will rock with you for a year or two or even longer. What kind of tips would you give them to help
get their email. No, it's true. It plays off of what you said before. It's like if you can create good content that you know will resonate with them, and you have their email, you can always grab them.
Yeah, there's a study that came out earlier this year, and it was a marketing study that showed that if you're looking to monetize, and whether it's no matter what product you're selling, but with music, merch, tickets, and shows, email marketing is 40 times as effective as Facebook and Twitter combined. You're going to have much more success with a dedicated email blast, your fan list, with a clear call to action like buy my new album, come to my next show, than on social media. So it's super important to keep in mind.
Yeah, and I would say with that too, like make sure, like a lot of people and a lot of brands is maintain that if you have people's email, maintain that value exchange. Is make sure that they're basically giving you some of their value by opening up that email, and make sure that make sure that you're giving them something, and that it's not always necessarily selling them something.
So now we're just bombarding them with, hey, I got this going on, with this,
Yeah,
with this, with that.
Value exchange. Like if they're into you and your brand enough to give their email address, they're going to expect and want something from you. It's not just a take relationship, it's a give and take. And you kind of always have to be conscious of that. Of those, and a lot of musicians, back in the day with the notion of like pre-sell, like that was giving something that was of value, right? When that was invented, to people that will give me their email address. So I'm gonna give them a pre-sale opportunity to get tickets before anyone else. The same with exclusive tracks that drop. Like that type of value exchange is very, very key, and you have to realize that like people are giving you something in their email that is of value to them. You need to give something that is special and of value back to them.
One more quick point about email, and I'll go back to your original question. On the other side of things, when you have email addresses, you have a database of emails, you can tell where those email addresses are. You can tell where those people are from, and then that can help you with booking shows. And I witnessed it firsthand at a music managers forum in Montreal last year, where there was a round table, there was a band's manager at the table, there was a promoter from Australia. The manager came prepared because his band had been giving away their music for years and had collected tens of thousands of email addresses. And he whipped out his laptop, showed the promoter in Australia, we have 5,000 email addresses from Brisbane. And the guy went, we need to talk, and they left the table. So if you can prove tangibly that you have a fan base in certain cities, it's going to open up doors for you, and that's one of the best ways to do it.
And that's the only way you can do it, because you can't do that from Instagram and things. You have to do that with your own data that you are analyzing.
Yeah, but in terms of, so getting back to your original question, doing fan engagement, we're living in a world now where regardless if you're just starting out or if you're a superstar, if a fan contacts you on social media, they expect a response.
Yes.
And you have to keep that in mind. So if you're not responding to questions or compliments or things like that, I really see that as part of an artist's job now. You have to spend a little time every day cleaning up the comments, replies, and even if it's just liking a comment, just saying thanks, that kind of engagement goes a long way, because then people feel like they're part of going on the journey with you. Right? Or if you leave them hanging, they're going to focus on another artist that is responding to them.
Right, because that engagement creates value for them.
Yeah, that was something like a good point. Like I did a project with Diplo a while back, and he literally calendars out an hour of his day that he says that hour is sacred, and I'm going to give my fans something. Anyone that has given me something in posting, liking, whatever, I'm going to give them something during that hour. And he's very open with his fans. He says, I can't do it all. I can't get back to everyone, but I'm going to do all. I will promise you an hour a day, and people respect the hell out of that.
And this is somebody who's world renowned, so he can take the time out to do that.
Yeah.
And of course, but then also I think the last thing to kind of wrap that up as well is that with that direct engagement, word of mouth is going to be your best method of really gaining other fans outside of your circle. And I think far too often people think they're trying to chase a big audience when you might just work with 12 people, and I'd rather that to something else. How would you say about that?
People trust recommendations from their friends way more than an ad that they'll see or something that seems like they're trying to be sold to.
Right.
So it's really engaging that core fan base, your super fans, and then they're going to be the ones who are going to post about you on social media and post about your shows and post about your new music, and that's going to be